Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So you have Mays Middleton in the race, Joan Huffman's in the race, you have State Rep Mitch Little looking at the race here. It's kind of getting crowded on the Republican side. How in the world are you different from those who are already in?
Well, I think that I'm the only one who President Trump has specifically referred to as a true MAGA attorney and a warrior for the Constitution. And that's because of my background litigating, investigating, suing, defending, appealing on all of the major issues that Texans care about, whether it's the Bill of Rights, Second Amendment, border security, election integrity, the sexual agenda against our kids. All of these issues I've been directly engaged in. I've been fighting and winning. I'm battle tested, and it's why my work with both Attorney General Paxton for 3 years, Senator Cruz for 2 years, culminated in President Trump nominating me to my Justice Department post, during which he called me a true MAGA attorney and a warrior for the Constitution. I think that that's what Texas Republican primary voters want as their next AG.
Your campaign website, with your first ad, has high praise from President Trump, from General Paxton, and also from Ted Cruz as well.
Yeah.
Have those three actually endorsed you, though?
No. There's no. We hope to earn each of those conservative champions' endorsements with time. I think we're ideally positioned to be able to do so. But to your point, each of those guys, Trump, Cruz, Paxton, each of them has put out tremendously positive statements, both leading up to my announcement, in the wake of my announcement, and in the case of Attorney General Paxton, put out a statement, very positive statement for me the day after I announced. And folks can go to my website, aaronreitz.com. They can find everything that these guys have said. So if you're just getting to know me, but you want to lean on the opinion of the president, our great Senator Ted Cruz, or Attorney General Paxton, look at what they have to say about me, and I think it'll give Texans a tremendous amount of confidence to put me in office as the next AG.
Let's talk about your resume for a moment. I looked at your LinkedIn. You haven't been in places very long. 2 years with Senator Cruz, almost 3 years with General Paxton, a couple of months at the DOJ serving under President Trump. Why so much moving around?
Well, this is the nature of politics. For fortunately or unfortunately, look, when politics moves fast, you spend a few years with a certain principle fighting the fights that you're assigned to fight, and you move up or on to the next thing. And so, look, I don't think that by any sort of political standards, those tenures are particularly short. I'm very proud of everything that we've accomplished during my 3 years with Paxton, 2 years with Cruz, my time at the Justice Department, leading the Office of Legal Policy. The Office of Legal Policy is responsible for coordinating, planning, and executing all of the major issues of importance for the Attorney General and to the administration. And I was proud to spend my time with the Attorney General of the United States working on several high-profile matters. But then the question became, when the Texas Attorney General spot came open, the question for many Texans and for myself was, who are we going to deploy back to Texas to succeed Ken Paxton? And in my opinion, my mentor's opinion, the folks that I worked with, the grassroots, it was clear. Texans want as their next Texas Attorney General a true MAGA attorney and a warrior for the Constitution. So I'm taking all of those years of experience and I'm bringing them to bear to serve Texas faithfully as the next AG.
One of your Republican opponents, Joan Huffman, when she announced, she took a shot at you and said, listen, Texans don't want somebody, a younger person trying to climb the political ladder. What's your response to that?
Well, I posted my response shortly after that.
It was a Ronald Reagan comment,
well,
too, right?
I appreciate you picking up on that. Yes, that's exactly right. Look, I think the claim that I'm young is misleading and maybe even dubious. I think my hairstyle passes me as much older. And so, like the great Ronald Reagan once said, I will not exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience. And so, look, that Joan Huffman is gonna take her position, and she's gonna try to frame me in the way that she wants to, and that's fine. But you know what? I'm gonna run on my record. My record is a long history of investigating, suing, litigating, appealing, defending Texas state law on all of the major issues that Texans care about. From the Bill of Rights, Second Amendment, border security, election integrity, you name the issue, and I've spent my professional career working and diving deep. And that's what distinguishes me from other candidates, because the other folks will not have this relevant experience. I do, and I'm ready on day one to make it happen.
Let's talk about one of those issues. As AG, you said that you would accelerate the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. That's a federal responsibility. What in the world would you do to accelerate the mass deportation?
Well, the states and local law enforcement play a vital role in partnering with the federal government to ensure that immigration laws are being enforced, including President Trump's deportation operations. And so folks can go on my X page at Aaron_Reitz, and they can see that the great border czar Tom Homan put out a great statement about me just a few days ago, praising the fact that I had spent years with him as a very close ally on securing the border and enforcing immigration law. And so what this administration needs out of their Texas Attorney General is not only somebody who's got proven experience litigating on immigration and border security, but who is a willing and ready partner, who knows the players in Washington, who can integrate with this administration to be an extension of the deportation operations here in Texas. And so yes, while it is primarily a federal responsibility, the state of Texas plays a vital role in ensuring that that mission and the laws are carried out.
Fundraising numbers were just announced the other day. You only had a few weeks in to fundraise. Are you pleased with what you raised?
We're extremely happy with what we've raised. Look, my campaign was live for only 2 weeks, and we raised a tremendous amount of money. We went from 0 to an exceptionally high number, which folks can find on my X handle at Aaron_Reitz in just 2 weeks. These are record-breaking numbers. Why? Because folks look at the Aaron Reitz for Texas AG campaign and they get excited. The grassroots is fired up. They know that they want what President described in me as a true MAGA attorney and a warrior for the Constitution. And so we are raising big numbers. I didn't inherit an oil and gas company. I don't have family money that I can spend on my own race. I came from a middle-class family, and so did my wife. We've worked for what we've accomplished so far, and I am proud that we have brought in so many grassroots donors and supporters. We've earned their trust, confidence, and their treasure. And we think that we're going to be extremely prosperous moving forward in fundraising.
What will this primary campaign cost?
I expect that between now and the first week of March, when the primary happens, I think that it will cost between $8 and $10 million. So,
can you get there financially?
I definitely think that we can get there financially. So,
let's talk about the next big challenges, legal challenges this state faces. What do you think they are over the next decade or so?
Look, I think that it's border security. I think that it's
But the border's secure right now. I mean, when President Trump came in, there's no one's coming across anymore.
Look, here's what I would tell you. For the next, it is true that President Trump has secured the border. There's still a whole lot of mess that we need to clean up. And so this administration and Texans need an AG to partner with them to continue, not only to continue to secure the border, but also to clean up the mess as a result of the invasion of illegal aliens over the course of the Biden administration. But my first term as Texas AG is going to be characterized by 2 distinct chapters. Chapter 1, from 26 to 28, is going to be deep and close partnership with this administration to uphold the rule of law and enforce law and order. Okay. The second chapter is, remember, in 28, there's going to be a presidential election.
Sure.
If the tables turn, God forbid, we're hoping it doesn't, but if the tables turn and a Democrat ascends to the White House, there is no one in this race who is better proven to be fighting from Texas an overreaching, liberal, anti-American Democratic administration as I did. In fact, Attorney General Ken Paxton described to me many times as his offensive coordinator, who was responsible under his leadership for managing and facilitating the Texas v. Biden docket. And so we may see a repeat of that, Texas v. whatever the next Democratic administration is, and there's only one guy in the race who's got a proven track record doing it and doing it successfully, and it's me.
You've worked in that office under General Paxton. What kind of changes would you like to make to the Attorney General's office?
Yeah, look, I think that Attorney General Paxton has left an outstanding legacy now for over the past 10 years. And so what I really want to do is I want to press the gas on a lot of the issues that we're working with.
What does that look like?
Look, I think that, like I said a moment ago, I think the first chapter of my tenure as Texas AG is going to be deep, close, proven, and fully integrated working with this administration. And then if the administration flips in 28, which again I hope that it doesn't, you're going to get all-out offensive coordination against a lawless anti-Texan administration. And so look, we're inheriting a great legacy, and I think that we need to double down on a lot of the things that we're doing, and look forward to hiring a great team that's going to help me lead one of the largest Republican Attorneys General office in the country.
Aaron, thank you for the time.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.